The million dollar question: how do entrepreneurs transition from self-employed to owning a business that turns a profit? My name is Chris Waters, and this podcast has the million dollar answer. Welcome to CEO Secrets. Hey guys, it's Chris Waters. Welcome to CEO Secrets. I've got an extremely special guest on the show today, the CEO of Vyral Marketing, Frank Klesitz. Frank, welcome to CEO Secrets. How are you doing today, buddy?
Doing good, man. Hopefully I'll share some good secrets today.
Yeah, well, for a lot of people that are tuning in, I've interviewed a lot of amazing guests on here, a lot of people that serve the real estate industry. You know, Frank, I have to be honest, of all the people I have met, I don't think I've met anybody that literally eats, sleeps, breathes, like, what can I do to help agents push to the next level? You know, I tell the story, and I think people have heard me tell this story about you. I called you about, I think 6 or 7 years ago, and I said, Frank, I don't want to pay you $500 a month for viral marketing to do my email marketing. So you said, Chris, you know, I'll teach you how to do it. I'll spend like several weeks hooking you up with the right people and giving you everything you need. And, you know, just pay me like $3,000 to cover my costs and my team, and we'll get everything built. So I paid the $3,000. And about 6 months went by, and I only had recorded one video. And then I came back to you. I came crawling back and I said, Frank, I need to pay you the monthly fee so you guys can just do this for me. And so, long story short, I've been a Vyral customer for, gosh, I think 7 years now. And I have an in-house marketing team that can do this. But the thing I just can't compete with is your team's ability to look at, I mean, literally, I don't even know how many emails do y'all send out per month?
Oh God, it might be in the millions, over a million.
Over a million emails per month. I mean, there's really nobody in the industry that has more data on like messaging and copy that actually works to generate really high quality, come list me type seller leads.
Yes.
And high quality buyer leads. So at any rate, Frank, I'm super excited to have you on the show. You know, you've got a lot of really cool stuff going on outside of viral marketing. And I'm willing to bet a lot of people listening to this, if they don't know viral marketing, number one, I'd be shocked. But number two, like, you've got some other really cool things like you're doing to help agents grow their business beyond the actual email done for you solution you have.
Yep.
And one of them, I think, is you have a program to help people learn how to raise money to, you know, pay for all their marketing. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So it starts with getting a really solid, they call in the industry like a 36 touchdown in place with your list. So you have all your past clients, all your centers of influence, all the warm leads you're nurturing. For those of you listening, make sure you check out a product. What's it called? We were talking about CommandBot.
Yeah, CommandBot.
CommandBot. It's an add-in that you can add into Gmail that allows you, whenever there's a conversation in Gmail, it pushes it right into your CRM. But all these emails that you have, and hopefully some mailing addresses of your best contacts too, you got to have some type of way to stay in touch with people. It's not this like canned drip crap. And this requires you kind of step up and get on video and answer commonly asked questions, give some helpful insights. And that's what Vyral does. And we send these videos out, and that's what Chris is talking about. Essentially creating a video blog of helpful things that you can publish to your list. Now, when you start doing this, and you start putting these videos on your Facebook page, you start sending these videos out to your database, and you start kind of building an audience and a following, or just people are paying attention more or less to what you're sending out, that gets some eyeballs. And you're not the only person who probably wants to be in front of a lot of buyers and sellers in the community. There's lots of other businesses that would love to be a part of those same eyeballs. Or another way to say it would just be love to have a partnership, or a more formalized partnership rather, with a top selling real estate agent such as yourself. Listen to a podcast on CEO Secrets that sees yourself as a CEO in the real estate business, as opposed to someone just looking for a commission selling a house. You're building a firm, a team. So what Chris is getting at, and one of the ways Chris scaled his business, was in the very beginning he didn't have much capital, so he had to go get the leads for his team. Costs money.
Yep.
So we went to all these different businesses and asked them to pitch in. Well, what Chris asked me to share to give some context to what we just brought up is when you have this video blog, say, I don't know, the Austin Real Estate Business Journal, brought to you by the Chris Waters International Realty. You can bring in some other local businesses that will pay for exposure. A case in point, there's a financial advisor that we reached out to in Salt Lake City, and this is they were from Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, which is kind of more of your higher
Upper echelon quality.
Upper echelon,
Yeah.
high net worth financial advisor. And, they've been in business for 20 years and they are looking to get more high net worth clients. Well, it just so happens that, I asked them, hey, where do you guys spend your marketing dollars? I'm assuming you have a budget to like get new customers. Like, oh yeah. But after 20 years, we only know two things work. We spend it on customer appreciation events because our clients refer other high quality customers. And we spend it on like strategic business referral partnerships. That's the only place we put our money. I'm like, well, that's nice because that's exactly what I'm asking for. Do you currently have a relationship with a top selling real estate professional? They're like, no, and we'd love one. I'm like, great. Well, we have this client over here in Utah. She sells X number of houses. Many of them are affluent. Here's X number of homes. Actually, we're in the luxury range. You two should start getting together. I mean, I asked the financial advisor, do you guys teach seminars? Do you guys do workshops? Like, oh yeah, we do one of our actually most favorite ones that we do is an investing workshop for women. So we teach a workshop or a seminar on the basics of investing for women. And it just so happens this agent is a woman, and that it linked very well. So now they're cross-promoting workshops, and they actually started chipping in $1,000 a month.
Wow,
So
$1,000 a month is pretty
$1,000
serious.
a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So $1,000 a month
From just one business.
Morgan Stanley, yep, was going to go in to start pitching in towards the marketing budget for to formalize a relationship working together. Now you scaled it up considerably, but once you start publishing content, once you have a platform, you can go to other businesses that like to be in that platform, be in those videos with you, cross promote content. And I just want to bring up that's possible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think fascinating about your perspective, Frank, is you've met thousands and thousands of agents. You've spoken to tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands.
10 years of my life.
Yeah. I mean, you've been like totally entrenched in this. You ended up marrying a real estate agent, and your wife, Katie.
Met her at a real estate conference.
And your wife, Katie, comes from a real estate family. Her dad was one of the first regional partners of Keller Williams.
Yep.
You interviewed me for my book, which helped me develop my book, which I'm incredibly grateful for. Like, when you think about all of the agents that come on as Vyral marketing customers that are, maybe they're selling 25, 50, 60, 70 homes, they're doing really, really well, like substantially above average. But they're struggling to like really build a true business. Like when you're selling 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 homes, like you basically own a job. Yeah. And so like, where do you see the disconnect preventing these incredibly skilled salespeople in the industry to pivot to being business owners where they leverage, and scale into having a business versus a job? Yeah.
It's the emotional intelligence of handling the risk. You have to scale up, you have to take the risk of fixed cost, be it I need to hire a salaried person as low as, overseas for, $4, $5, $6 an hour, or, somebody in the States, $10, $12, $15 an hour for maybe just calling help or basic administrative help, but it's a fixed cost. And you have very variable commission revenue. And you got to get your butt in gear and make sure that variable commission revenue keeps going to cover your fixed costs.
So it's the fear of hiring people around you.
No, I wouldn't say it's the fear. It's just the emotion of controlling the emotion of I'm taking this commitment on this fixed marketing contract, to buy these leads. It's maybe it's something I pay every month, or I have to take this on this fixed cost to offload this labor, offload the burden of me doing all lead generation for myself and my time. And hopefully I can manage this thing where it grows and starts fueling on itself. And that is the challenge that everyone runs, and they call it the messy middle.
So let me ask you something. So this could be literally the greatest secret of this entire podcast. Something you could share in this moment. Yeah. What do you think is the silver bullet to alleviate the messy middle of waiting for that I call it cash conversion cycle. When you start a new initiative and you're waiting for the money to come back
Yeah.
to you in spades. What is it that, would solve this for people?
I'll give you my secret. Are you ready?
Let's
I'll
hear
tell you,
it.
I know the answer to that.
Okay. What's the silver bullet?
Um, the silver bullet is in my city. I would do a Google search. Let's take San Diego, and I would type in San Diego condos for sale, San Diego homes for sale, something like that, or some niche of San Diego, La Jolla, Del Mar, whatever. And I would figure out like who's spending money on the ads at the very top of the Google search results. So someone's gonna be paying. I mean, San Diego, Lord knows what it costs per click. I'm sure it's considerable, but to end up on those search results on the top, someone's paying a lot of money to, I don't know, a Boomtown site, Commissions Inc., all the different lead generation
Yeah.
CRMs
Tons
out
of them.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'd click on it. I'd scroll down to the bottom. I'd see who's running it. And this person's spending a lot of money on ads. I'd call them up. It's like, hey, I'm a local agent in the area. How you do on your old lead conversion? Your agent's making the calls? No. Great. Well, can we put something together where I pay you, let's say 30%? And can I work all your old leads? That's what I would do. I would go to all of these agents and I'd go grab all these agents' databases. I would say, look, give it to me. I'll tag them. You can trust me. I'm going to work them. You don't want to deal with the hassle. You're going to pay out, look, you're going to pay out 50-50 anyway. Pay me 30. You know what I mean? Whatever the payout is. And I would go work other people's leads to get my cash flow going without the initial outlay of cash to go get the business or the time of just like straight up cold calling when you have nothing. And, there are more and more teams basically saying the hell with it. And what I mean, the hell with it is, Chris, you've been very fortunate where you've built marketing prowess, through billboards and radio and lots of
Digital and like all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
like check writing for years.
Spent
to
a
build
lot
up
of
a
money.
brand.
North of $5 million.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's not for everyone. All right. There's other teams out there that are still do great business, but literally have just said, we're not even going to do that. We're going to go form lead partnerships. We're going to go to banks and say, hey, bank, how many people come in here and look for a loan for a house? What are you doing with all those people? Nothing. Great. Give them to us. We'll pay you. And you'd be surprised how many banks will give you those leads. You go to other real estate teams and be like, hey, how many times does your company fall apart? What are you doing with your lead archives? Nothing. My buyer's agents don't call. My people don't follow up. I have all these leads falling through the cracks. Great. Let me work them. Give me 30%.
So the silver bullet is get your lead costs down to basically zero by leveraging partnerships.
Yeah, and you
and-
only pay the money for the lead when you actually get the cash at closing.
And then you
Right.
drive revenue.
Go.
Yeah.
Get your cash flow going. Then if you want to get off that 35%, now you start investing in the branding, your database into a farm where
Something you mentioned when I asked you, like, for someone doing like 40, 50, 60 deals, like they don't actually need more leads from a database from like a mortgage company and you mentioned it was what'd you say, emotional?
well, it's just the emotional challenge of taking on fixed cost and just risk
Yeah.
of the fixed costs.
So I guess more specifically to the risk component, how do you help somebody overcome that hurdle of the risk component of allocating money to an executive assistant or, somebody that'll help them buy their time back?
Well, the first thing you can do is get a shared assistant. So go find yourself a good assistant, $15 to $20 an hour will get you a great assistant to start. Especially if you don't want to go locally. Like if you go to Upwork, which is a kind of freelance job site, and you put on, administrative assistant full-time, I mean, you'll have incredibly qualified people over the country that just need to work from home gig, especially now post-COVID for, 30 grand a year.
So
happy to work for you.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is the secret is to hedge your risk by slowly scaling in, leverage support by leveraging virtual assistants, outsourcing it, sharing a part-time assistant. Right. And then just as your revenues builds, then you can slowly, bring somebody on full-time.
Yeah. Figure out how you could do partnerships with leads. Home builders are a good option as well.
Mm-hmm.
We had a client that, his way to get home builder relationships was he would go to home builders, kind of middle of the market home builders, not the really low end or the expensive end, but like kind of your middle of the road home builder. and he would help them. He would help create a video series called How to Build a House. So he would show up every 2 weeks and do a little video about what they accomplished these past 2 weeks at the property. And they're actually really interesting. And that was one of the ways he got his relationship. So it's just about like hedging risk. Like, how do you handle the risk of taking on all these fixed costs with scaling up? And eventually you come to the point with marketing. And that's what we do. So let's say, you're scaling up, like, all right, I got an assistant, I'm sharing them, I still need leads. Instead of making a bunch of cold calls, maybe I can buy my time back calling some more engaged people where it's less number of dials to a deal, by setting up a referral program with someone else. But I got to start working my database. How can I do that? Well, Vyral isn't that expensive. We charge $2,000 to build and then $550 a month. Now you might go, well, Frank, that's good money. It is good money, but not compared to hiring somebody. Hiring somebody is going to cost you more than that. I mean, I don't think you can hire someone for minimum wage part-time to do the work at that rate.
Who's the ideal person for somebody that's running a real estate team? Like, who's the ideal person for them to hire to help them in-house with lead generation? And why is, like, from my experience, God, it is, you and I have talked about this before. It's so hard to find that person. Like, you need someone that's like jack of all trades. And like, so like, where do you fish to find that person? And like, what's their job title and how much do you have to pay them?
Well, first off, don't even try. I mean, you're looking for a unicorn if you're looking to hire a marketer. It's too hard. A marketer requires copywriting skill, first and foremost, of knowing what to say. What do we put in the emails? What do we put in the letters? What do we put on the Facebook ads? You need somebody that is agonized at belly to belly at the kitchen table trying to win a listing in a competitive environment. You need someone who is agonized over what to say to leads to convert them, that has learned the magical words, like under pressure that makes diamonds, that has gone up the ranks of spending their own money. Those are the guys and gals who know how to write the copy. You hiring someone, fresh out of school that knows how to post on Instagram and expecting them to be able to write anything that actually generates a response that with a message that, meets the needs and concerns of a market, good luck with that. So not only do you have the copywriting, which is the hardest part, but then you have the video editing and you have the email marketing and you have the landing pages. It's really quite a challenge, and you have to specialize. I mean, this is why ad agencies exist. Why doesn't everyone just do it in-house? Well, Apple doesn't do it in-house. Actually, none of the big companies do. They don't, because they realize that there's economies of scale and there's benefits of like, here's an agency that has like all these specialized positions. So like at Vyral, we have a team of writers. All they do all day long and what they're great at is writing. And then we have a team of video editors. All they do all day long is edit videos. Then we have graphic designers. They're sitting in Photoshop all day doing nothing but videos. And then we have a team of people calling you and interviewing you and coming up with topics to do just that. And that's just for one little piece of the whole marketing puzzle, Chris, that you've been unsuccessful of doing in-house, of just, let's get a little database, nurture plan going on here, right? I mean, think of all the other stuff. So I guess I don't know if you really answered your question.
So I guess what you're saying, the strategy should be for anybody that, as they grow their team and they need to generate more leads, so they have more opportunities for their agents, the strategy should be to essentially build, a couple different outsourced teams to help you with marketing. So for example, email marketing, go to Vyral. For pay-per-click and Facebook marketing, go leverage your CRM. And then for SEO, go hire an SEO person. Like, go build a team of outsourced folks.
Yes,
but then 100%. What would be the title of the person that oversees all of those people you're outsourcing once it becomes too overwhelming?
I don't think you'll find it. I would say give up. It's such a business critical position. It's such a value driving position that you as the CEO, if you're doing 5 million a year GCI or less, you will be making and running the marketing decisions. If you're doing in excess of 5 million GCI, maybe you can afford, you have that room in your budget to pay the 75, 100, 150 grand a year for that person overseeing that kind of marketing budget. But that's something you're going to have to get good at, and you'll have to oversee those individual people. But that's where the money is.
So like when you exceed 5 million in revenue, what would be the title of the person that's overseeing all of your marketing?
Yeah, well, it would be
outsourced teams.
Yeah, so it would be a marketing director. I would say marketing director, because you're directing the activities of others. You could probably say chief marketing officer, but that's more of a corporate title.
Yep.
I would just say a marketing director.
Or director of lead generation.
Director of lead generation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And you would say, look, this is how we get our leads. Here's the biggest mistake people make when they hire a marketing person. You bring in this marketing person and you say, figure it out. Go get me leads. Oh my God, you're going to go broke.
You're going to spend a lot of money.
Oh, that is just business suicide. What you're better off doing is saying, hey, marketing director, here is my marketing plan. We have this budget. We are going to generate buyer leads on Facebook this way, and we're going to spend $1,000, $2,000 a month on that. We're going to be generating buyer leads on pay-per-click. Here's how we do that. We're going to spend $1,000, $2,000, and our cost per acquisition is this. Here's what's currently working, and you're going to take this over and make sure that works. We're going to do direct mail to a farm. This is what we're sending out, and this is the budget. Here's what we're going to do here. We also have a multi-step mail campaign for FSBOs and expireds. Here's what we do here, right? We also have a database touch program. Here's how this works. Here's what we do here. We also put on a couple client events a year. Here's how this works. And we actually have, a company that handles this pillar. We have a company that handles this pillar. These companies will report to you, yada, yada, yada. Your job is to oversee all of this, and you will meet with me daily to make the decisions, but I need to make sure all this stuff is running and is optimized. And here's exactly what I want you to run with it. That works.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of stuff. So I've been taking notes. So if it looks like I've been looking away or I've been typing, it's because I have been. I've been taking notes on what you've been saying.
Thanks.
The first key takeaway from what you've shared with us to scale up as an agent and not spend any money is to partner with other business owners that are trying to
real estate teams spending money on lead.
No. So, but before that, you mentioned the relationship with the banker, right?
Yes.
So step one,
financial planner.
Yeah, financial planner. So it's like step one, find other people that build their business based off relationships and get them to contribute into the marketing kitty to help subsidize your marketing efforts.
Some type of vendor program.
Yep, vendor program. And then you said step two, another thing you can do is you can go reach out to other teams by going on Google and typing in your city name and homes for sale.
Yes.
Scroll to the bottom of their website, look at who is, spending a lot of money and who's running that website, who owns it, contact the team, ask them if you can work all of their old leads, archive leads, and get them to agree to a 30% partnership. You also mentioned the builder, reaching out to builders. And then I asked you to more specifically talk about like mitigating risk, for example, when you're already selling 50 to 60 homes and like managing the emotional component, for example, of hiring people and committing that salary. And you mentioned scale up slowly, start using like a virtual assistant or share an assistant with somebody until the revenue increases. And then another interesting I wish what you shared regarding the marketing director, I wish I had known this many, many years ago, but I think the key thing you shared there, which is freaking brilliant, is you should not hire any in-house marketing people until you exceed 5 million in gross commission dollars. And when you do, make sure you have a plan in place of like where you're lead generating, who's overseeing it, and, allocate a budget and then have them hold all of those people accountable versus bringing in-house all of these people that do copywriting, SEO, Facebook,
You'll go broke.
Yeah. Cool. So, man, I took a lot of notes while you were talking. What one thing that came to my mind specifically to reaching out to other like teams and whatnot is what if like, I don't know, if someone's listening to this and maybe they're selling like 25, 30, 40 homes and they're intimidated to reach out to, one of these bigger teams, what would be kind of like the side door to get into one of those teams? Because, I don't know, they're nervous about calling somebody that's got some big team. You know what I mean? They're intimidated. What would be like the ninja way to get in touch with that team lead and develop the relationship? So they don't think you're trying to like,
Well, the first thing I want to say is
snipe them.
The marketer in me, the first thing that kind of came to my mind was, I'm always thinking like, what keeps this person up at 3 a.m? Like if I could nail the pain that keeps this person up at 3 a.m, I'm going to need a response, And I'm telling you right now, for someone that's spending the kind of money, especially in the major markets, on pay-per-click, what's keeping them up at night is my agents aren't calling the leads. They're not having the reports. You're not getting your reports. You don't have you want information. You're spending all this money on it. I mean, a lot of these guys are round robbing them out to independent contractors. Are they even allowed to like enforce that they're making the calls? So I guess when you reach out, I mean, literally a simple email, a note. Let me give you the message. Hey, Bob, I understand that you run searchsandiegohouses.com. Great site. I'm a local agent here. I'm hungry. I'm motivated. Give me a call. I would like to take all the leads your agents are not calling, underlying not calling. I know we all deal with it. And I'd like to work them and find business out of it and pay you a healthy referral percentage, everything tracked. Give me a call. Let's chat. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just a real estate agent looking to get my business off the ground. Can we talk?
Yeah.
Or not get off the ground, but like take it to the next level. And I mean, Chris, if you got that, I mean, have you ever gotten a message like that ever?
Never.
Ever?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's brilliant. I mean, I would allocate them like 1,000 leads.
Yeah. And I would see
my database has like 100,000 people in it.
Let me give everyone the tip really quick. So let's say you get this list. Let's say Chris Waters gave you these 1,000 names, these 1,000 emails. What I would do is I would take those emails and I would upload them to a service like NeverBounce. NeverBounce removes all the bad emails. Got it? All the ones that are spam traps and bad emails. So that's a little tip. Mm-hmm. And then here's all you got to do. Upload those emails to an email marketing program. The subject line is quick question. The email says, hey, you inquired about buying or selling a home a while back with us. Are you still interested in buying or selling a home here in Austin? Frank. Set it up. Boom. Great. People respond back. Call people that respond back. You're golden. Do that with a couple agents in your market. You get some business.
Hey, let me ask you something. So something several years ago I put into place is something you call I guess you came up with this impromptu. You call it your magical seller emails. And the first time I sent it out, I told you, I think we booked like 20 or 21 appointments or something like that. And we took like 12 or 13 listings. And I'm kind of curious, like, I don't know, did that idea just come to you? Like
you don't know how lazy I am, Chris. I mean, it all comes from how can I literally do the least amount of work? And I'm more of a guy. I mean, there's two types of people. You have, I'm just going to Neanderthal through this problem with this brute force calls. Okay. But that's exhausting. Or I'm going to sit back and try to use my mind to figure out how I can like filter this down to who are the most interested. And that's where I would rather be, like on the beach here in California on a laptop, writing something to kind of like filter down to find the motivated. So I put together like this email. I'll give you basically how the email goes really quick. Dear clients, friends, colleagues, the Federal Reserve at the time of this recording, the Federal Reserve just committed to keeping rates near zero for the next couple of years. And we're seeing home prices going through the roof. In fact, after COVID and such limited inventory, we've seen home prices increase by how much in Austin, Chris? How much are home prices going up there? Give me something.
Oh man, they're up 6 to 7%.
Perfect. That's great. So anyways, I wanted to write you and let you know that, yeah, it was looking pretty crazy at the end of COVID, but now home prices are just, through the roof. So if you happen to own a home, you may want to know what your home is actually worth. Now to do that, it costs like, $700 for an appraisal, but I pay money for this tool that you can click right here and find out what your home is worth right now. That if you put your home address in, it'll actually tell you, what your home is worth based upon maybe, the comparable home sales of your neighbors. I pay money for it, what you do. And if it's free to you. So go ahead and put your information in right now and here and find out maybe how much your home has gone up. And if you want a more accurate value of the home, obviously you probably got to take a look at the kitchens and bathrooms and home improvements. Call me. Here's my number. FaceTime me in, Skype me in, show me your house, send me a few pictures, and I'll be able to adjust that price to get a little more accurate with what we call in the industry as a broker price opinion that I can give you. It's actually what banks use when they appraise on loans. So it's pretty close to appraisal as far as I'm concerned. So if you have any questions about getting your home sold, give me a shout, but definitely you can go here to check out what your home is worth if you're interested. Frank. Now you round up your entire database of all your leads, send that out, and you just watch registrations come in. Now, if I had to choose between brute force calling a bunch of people who have no interest in selling their home, or I like to follow up with all the people that recently opted into that message, I would choose the latter.
No brainer. Yeah, no brainer. All right. There's
It's time to get one of those out again, Chris.
there. It is. Yeah, it is. Seriously, man. We do them once a quarter, and it's like just freaking blows my mind. The power of copy, like
Yeah.
the power of copy blows my mind. So this is the last thing I want to touch on. You know, you shared with me a while back, one of the biggest challenges for you guys at Vyral is getting people to record their damn videos.
Yeah.
Why is that? You mean the freaking cell phone?
Oh, behavior. Oh, no.
Amazing.
Nope.
You know.
Nope. Mm-mm. So, Chris, why don't people go to the gym? They know it's good for them. They know it works. It's the wrong question. So let me see if I can put this in perspective. I teach our guys to understand this.
Hold on. Is it because it's like the lack of instant gratification?
No, it's the mind zone that you're in, man. You know, so look, for someone who's listening to this, I empathize because Chris and I have been there. We've been fortunate to build businesses. We're not in that space all the time, but you're freaking out. Like you're scared to death because you have those fixed costs. You're scaling up your team. You're listening to this and probably not working, you know, because you're trying to get better. You know, you're up late at night listening to this, trying to figure things out, right? Because you've been so busy throughout the day that you're really hungry and you want to learn. And like you wake up in the morning, there's, 200 emails, your cell phone's dinging and panging and ponging all day long. You have back-to-back meetings. You want to try to get your prospecting in, but there's fires you have to put out, there's sellers yelling at you. And it's like you're constantly trying to like work on the business, but you keep getting sucked in all the time. And your mind is racing to try to figure out all these problems that you don't really have the mental models and knowledge in your head to be able to figure it out, right? But you want it so badly. You know, we've all been there. Remember this, Chris? All right. And, you just kind of default to like, oh my gosh, my bank account is short. I got to have this closing go through. Like that's the mental space that you're in.
And you know this better than anybody because your wife was a real estate agent.
100%. And but every business owner is there.
Yeah.
Like,
In the beginning, yeah. When you're in the middle of the mess. Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
So someone calls you up and says, oh, hey, Chris, it's time to shoot your videos. Yeah, you probably won't get any business right now from it, but down the road, it's nice that people might see them and it helps you build your brand. And we're going to talk today. I'll just give you something. We're going to talk about the benefits of staging the house today, Chris. How excited are you? And, you want to kill me.
Yeah.
And when you're in that space, and I totally respect and understand that, and I get it, and that we try to do everything to make it as painless as possible, because when you step out of that space, you realize that's how people get to know you and yada, yada. I can sell the benefits of it. But
ultimately, the person, whoever comes on, like, for example, as a Vyral customer, they need to make the choice and the decision to commit. It's the commitment. It's like going to the gym. You got to make the damn decision and commit. You got to commit.
I would say you have to commit to getting yourself in a calm mind space when it's time to sit down and activate the creative side of your brain to actually create some content, than the left constant problem solving side of your brain that you're in all day long of like making dials and follow up of racing. You know what I mean?
Speaking of follow up, something I love that you guys have put in place is when I first joined Vyral Marketing, y'all would send me a spreadsheet of everybody that responded to the emails, and we got them 2 days after they responded.
Yeah.
And then RealSync built the integration between Vyral and Boomtown.
Yeah.
And now the leads get tagged instantaneously when the consumer responds, and it creates a to-do activity for our agent to call that lead. You just mentioned about, switching brains and the follow-up.